Good morning, dear students. I welcome you all for the day 4 session. Today we are going to see the next prose, the second prose. The title of the lesson is The Sound of Music. In this Sound of Music, we are going to see two parts. First part, it was about a character, a girl, Evelyn Glennie, listens to sound without hearing it. This was the first part, and the second part is also about a musical instrument and the personalities, maestros who are all legend in the instrumentation. This lesson is also about a girl. Before seeing to the explanation of the story, let's see the author. Let's see about the author of the story of the lesson The Sound of Music by Deborah Coley. Deborah Coley, she is a writer and broadcaster. She was traveled the worldwide and written more than 100 articles for different editions of the Reader's Digest, many of which have been translated into dozens of languages, and she has been on-air broadcaster for CBC Radio in Washington, D.C. and worked for CBC Television in London and Cairo, Egypt. This was the description about our author Deborah Coley. And she was born in India, grew up in Toronto, Canada, and graduated in English from the University of Western Ontario and moved to job to some other locations. She spent 2 years with the United Nations Relief and Work Agency. She was a Canadian International Development. She worked there and joined in the Canadian International Development Agency that was called as CIDA. Yes, that was about the author. Now we are going to see about the lesson. The character, the protagonist, Evelyn Glennie, listens to sound without hearing it. Once we hear this, we may confuse about how can a girl can hear a music without the hearing disability. This was the girl called Evelyn Glennie who does not have hearing aids but still try to feel music through her sensation. She couldn't hear but still she had ability to feel it because she was very enthusiastic to learn music. The story of Evelyn Glennie is a motivational story. It inspires all of us to overcome our visual disabilities and achieve our dreams and goals just like Evelyn did. This was the story about Evelyn Glennie, who excelled and succeed in life even though she was physically disabled. She is successful and she achieved in her life. This definitely be a motivation for you all. Let's move on to the lesson now. Let's start the lesson with the starting sentences given in the text before you read. God may have taken her hearing, but He has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expressed music so beautifully. Read the following account of a person who fought against physical disability and made her life a successful one. Here, the person who is physically disabled is our protagonist. The little girl is Evelyn Glennie. Here, the first time it was a comment given by a person that he says that although God has already have taken her hearing power, she was blessed by the God with an extraordinary thing, that was a sense of feeling. She could feel very deeply, far deep than the normal people. So not more than the normal people, she can hear, and even a single small things, small tiny little vibration even, and that's why she was able to express music so beautifully, so well. She is a well-known percussionist. She plays different percussion instruments like xylophone, drums, etc. So this was a comment given by a author who is called as James Bowles. We will see later. Let's start with the first paragraph. This scene was happening in a railway station. The scene is in the railway platform where the little girl is waiting for a train to reach London. The rush hour crowd jostle for position on the underground train platform. A slight girl looking younger than her 17 years was nervous yet excited as she felt the vibrations of the approaching train. It was her first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London, daunting enough for any teenager fresh from Scottish form. But this aspiring musician faced a bigger challenge than most. She was profoundly deaf. The first stanza is telling about the scene where the girl is standing in the platform waiting for a train. The platform is very rush. People were pushing each other to get away. She is a small thin girl that was given as slight. Jostle means pushing roughly. Slight means a small thin girl she was so nervous. Here it was mentioned she was younger than her 17 years. She was nervous yet excited. Here Evelyn is standing at the railway platform waiting for a train, and as just she feels the vibration of the approaching train, she can able to feel the vibrations of the approaching train. She realized the train is about to come, so it is coming on the way. She gets nervous and excited. Why she was very nervous and excited? Because this is the first day. This is the train will take Evelyn to London. So actually Evelyn is a Scottish girl. Scotland, she is living in Scotland. Scotland is a countryside place. It's a village where the people will not be faster than the place will not be fast enough. But London is urban city. It will be very faster than Scotland. That's what she is a country girl. She's just moving from Scotland to London. This is the first day for the class for the Royal Academy of Music in London. She is going there. That's what she is very nervous here. Daunting means frightening. She was very frightened means scared here. And enough as a teenager. She is a teenager, that is She is 17 years old. That's what it was mentioned as teenager, fresh from the Scottish farm, because Scotland is full of farm and countryside. That it was mentioned here clearly as Scottish farm. But this aspiring musician, so she is aspiring musician because she already know and she loved to play music. That's what here given here, and she faced a bigger challenge as in her life. That is what here she was profoundly means completely, completely, that is completely deaf, not partially. She was completely deaf. That's what profoundly is the word. Profoundly the mean for. Evelyn Glennie's loss of hearing had been gradual. So gradually she reduced to hear slightly, little bit. So I already told you about the Evelyn belongs to Scotland. Scotland is a country in Europe. Life in Scotland is not as fast in London, because London has a very fast life. It is urban, whereas Scotland has farms and countryside. That's what she is coming from a Scottish farm. So that why Evelyn is very nervous, because she is leaving Scotland from London, and she is excited also because she is doing something that she always dreamt of. She is going to the Royal Academy of Music as a first day. This was the first paragraph says. Let's move to the second paragraph. Evelyn Glennie's loss of hearing had been gradual. Her mother remembers noticing something was wrong when the 8-year-old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. They called her name and she didn't move. I suddenly realized she hadn't heard, says Isabel Glennie. For quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness from friends and teachers. But by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated, and her headmistress urged her parents to take her to a specialist. So from the second point, we are going to see slowly Evelyn, she started losing the power of hearing. One day she was absolutely deaf, that was profoundly deaf. Her mother noticing, Isabel Glennie, here the name was given, she was Glennie's, Evelyn's mother. Isabel Glennie is the name of Evelyn's mother. Evelyn's mother, Isabel, recollects one incident. So she is recollecting an incident here that was happened in her 8-year-old when she was in a school. She says that Evelyn was waiting for her turn to play the piano. So it was a contest, piano contest. She has to go there. The person announcing her name, but she didn't respond. And her mother realized in that situation, mother realized that Evelyn did not respond and her name, that means she did not hear her name being called out. So in that situation, in that position, in that point of time, Evelyn's mother, Isabel Glennie, found out that she is having some disability in the hearing. So in this paragraph, few points is about as Evelyn lost her sense of hearing. See here, as Evelyn lost her sense of hearing in the phases, it was gradually in process. So slowly, little by little, he was losing her hearing sensation. In the beginning, when she could hear partially, when she started to hear partially, she managed to hide her disability with her friends and teachers. But at the time when she was 11, this was the age she was completely get lost of the hearing. She was completely profoundly deaf. Her marks had deteriorated, decreased, and her headmistress urged means compelling, forcing them, her parents, to take her to the specialist. So in the age of 11, she completely become a completely deaf. It was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired. It was severely impaired. That was completely, it was weakened as a result of gradual nerve damage. So because of the nerve damage problem, she had this impairment. They were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids. So they are advising, the doctors are advising here that she has to be given some hearing aids. He has to use some hearing aids. Hearing aids means it's a machine that used for the impaired people who they can use with this aid they can hear somewhat to the extent, and sent to a school for the deaf. So they are advising, prescribing, telling the parents to take her to the deaf school. So this was the point. Everything suddenly looked black, says Evelyn. So in this situation, everything became black in her life. It was a black day in Evelyn's life, that when she was completely impaired. So this was the point given in point 2, but moving to the point 3. But Evelyn was not going to give up. She was determined. Determined means she was very confident to lead a normal life and pursue her interest in music. She wants to keep on moving to, and she wants to develop her own interest in music. She was well interested in music, so she wants to develop, she wants to pursue that. So this was given here. And one day she noticed a girl playing a xylophone. So xylophone is an instrument. Here the explanation of xylophone is given, a musical instrument with a row of wooden bars. So here we can see the wooden bars of different lengths. So this is called xylophone, which may make some beautiful music from the xylophone. We can make beautiful music from the xylophone. So once on seeing the girl playing the instrument xylophone, she herself also decided that she wants to play it too. Most of the teachers discouraged her, but percussionist Ron Frobes, here the musical maestro Ron Frobes, spotted her potential. He identified her potential. He began by tuning 2 large drums to different notes. So he is giving proper motivation, and he is just giving some proper training from the beginning, and she is just starting her session to her as playing 2 drums in different notes. He is the person, Ron Frobes, who found that something is there within Evelyn, and he found out some passion about music in herself. So he decided to give something to her. So at last Ron Frobes thought that he would teach Evelyn to feel music. He took two large drums and to tune them to different tones. Here, Ron Forbes, he is tuning two large drums to different tones, and the drums are musical instrument that tuned them. He tuned each drum to different notes, and so the sound produced by the drum was different. So it was distinct. Both the drums made different sounds. Then he told Evelyn to find out and to listen to the vibration of the drum. So here percussionist means a person who plays drums and tabla. Percussionist mean percussion means the play instrument. Here the drum is an instrument. Percussionist means the player that plays drums and on other instrument that you play by hitting on them. Percussion means the instrument that used to play by hitting on them. It is called percussion. Here percussionist means a player of a percussion instrument, that is the instrument that used to hitting on them, that produce some music, especially is in an orchestra. Especially the people, percussionist, like here we have Ron Forbes, he is a percussionist. Especially he will play in the orchestras. Don't listen through your ears. So he's instructing, Ron Forbes is instructing her one by one, that the first thing is don't listen through your ears. He would say, try to sense it in some other way, says Evelyn. Suddenly I realized I could feel the higher drum from the waist up. Here waist up means the upper part of the body is called waist up. So she can hear the higher tone of the drum, higher beats of the drum from her waist up. Waist up means the upper part of the body, and the lower one from the waist down. Forbes, so lower things, lower tones, all the lower beats and notes has been vibrated, and she can guess by her waist down. That means the lower part of the body. Forbes repeated this exercise again and again, and soon Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of her body. So by this practice, she could found and she could understand, she could feel the vibration of the sounds by her body sensation. Sensation means from the higher tones from the upper part of the body, and the lower tones can be found out, can be sensed by the lower part of the body. I had learned to open my mind body of sound and vibration. Here she opened up her whole body towards the vibrations and sounds to listen to it. The rest was sheer determination and hard work. Here sheer determination means the confidence that she had and her hard work towards the work. So with the help of Ron Forbes, she started to realize the vibration of the sound, and at last, as she had determination to become famous and a good musician, and she always also did a lot of hard work for that to reach her this to the level. So this is the motivation that even as students we should have this motivation in our life. When still try until you succeed. This is a proverb. Like that, here she practiced and practiced till the last moment, and she struggled a lot. She put all her efforts and determination and hard work. Finally, she was become one of a beautiful musician in her life. This was the point 3. Then we will move on to the point 4. She never looked back from the point onwards. So from the starting point, she never looked back from that situation, and from that point she toured the United Kingdom. She toured means she moved across, she moved everywhere, she traveled so many countries in the United Kingdom with a young orchestra. And by the time she was 16, when she was 16, she toured over the United Kingdom with as a young orchestra. She had decided to make music her life. So she herself changed her life into a musical world. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music. So before getting into the Royal Academy, the person should have the audition. Audition means here who has to give some short performance, so that the director could decide whether she is good enough to select to the Royal Academy of Musicians. So it is the selection stage where she is, and she audited for the Royal Academy of Music and scored one of the highest mark in the history of the academy. This was one of the remarkable thing, that in the first audition itself, she was selected as the highest. She was selected and she scored highest mark that was not unbeatable by anyone. She was gradually moved from orchestral work to solo performance. So at last she just moved on and she started to do her performance as a solo performances. At the end of her 3 years course, she had captured most of the top awards. At the end of her 3 years course, she had captured most of the top awards. So before ending up of the course, with 3 years course, she has acquired, she got so many top awards. So this was the remarkable one, the greatest achievement in her life, and it shows her passion, determination and hard work. To her hard work, this was the result she received in her life. And the 5th point we are going to see, and for all this, Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievement. She doesn't want to prove that if anyone says Evelyn has done something great to her, she doesn't acknowledge that she was very humble and down to the earth. She never used to appreciate herself. She is just humble, and she won't accept that heroic achievement as the achievement in her lifetime. If you work hard and you know where you are going, you will get there. This is the only motivational point of speech that she used to say, that if you work hard and know where you are going, you will get there, the position that you reach the destination. And she got right to the top. The world's most sought after multi-percussionists with the mastery of some 1,000 instruments and hectic international schedule. She has become a #1 percussionist in the world, and she was well popular. She became a well popular person, and most sought after means, here we can see most sought after. That means she was a most popular and demanding person in the musical area, musical surroundings. So Evelyn achieved her goal. She worked hard. She had an aim to become a topmost and the most famous and most sought after musician of the world. She did that. She gained a mastery of almost of all thousand musician instruments, and she was the most popular multi-percussionist of the world. She has a very busy schedule. She has programs and concerts all over the world. Then she was become a famous personality in the musical world. This was given in the 5th point. Let's move to the 6th one. It is a interviewing to watch Evelyn function function so effortless without hearing. So it was a comment. When you watch Evelyn work to or perform so effortless, although she cannot hear, she won't give some effort. It was an effortless performance. The performance will be very effortless. She won't take more effort. You get the curious because Evelyn can identify the slightest and the minus sound made by the musical instrument. So even the mutest sound and the very slightest sound she can hear, and she can make the program a successful one. This was the effortless performance given by Evelyn. In our 2 hours discussion, here now the writer Deborah Coley is talking about the interview of Evelyn. Took an interview with Evelyn, which lasts for 2 hours. That goes for 2 hours. It was for 2 hours. She interviewed the girl Evelyn, our writer Deborah Coley. Deborah says Evelyn never missed a single word when she speaks. So she is telling that she never missed a single word. Here Deborah Coley is telling she never missed a single word. What is the word? What is the comment given by the Evelyn? Here this is the sentence. Men with bushy beards give me trouble. She laughed. So what does it mean? Men with bushy beards give me trouble. She laughed. It is here our Evelyn Glennie who is playing xylophone. Not just watching the lips, it's a whole face, especially the eyes. She speaks flawless with a Scottish lit. So what is the problem here with the bushy beard men who is giving trouble? Here it was the explanation is Evelyn says that those men who are long, huge, bushy beard give her trouble. Why do they give her trouble? Because when they speak, she cannot see their lip movement. Here, see, she is telling when they have too much of long bushy beard, she couldn't see the lip movement as their lips are covered with bushy beard. So she couldn't catch their point, what they are coming to say. So this is the problem with the men. Here they are giving trouble because of their bushy beard. It was just a funny, and also it is a thoughtful one. Yeah, if a deaf person, they'll be observing everything minutely with the help of their eye, and they will be watching each and every body movement and the expression and the lips movement. With that they will guess what they are speaking about and what they are talking to. So here she is telling the same thing, that if the man is having long bushy beard, definitely it will be a problem to catch what they are saying. She has to look after it's a whole face reaction, and she has to look their eyes and the whole face and the reaction, everything. So she couldn't see their lips if they have a long bushy beard. So this was the comment given by the our protagonist Evelyn Glennie in the interview with Deborah Coley, our author. She speaks flawlessly with a Scottish lit. Yes, here we know already that Evelyn Glennie is a She was born and brought up in Scotland, so she's speaking flawlessly. Flawlessly mean without any faults and mistake, and in a Scottish lit. Lit means here the way of speaking, that is the accent here. My speech is clear because I could hear till I was 11. So when she was 11, till 11, she can hear, because when till 11 she was studied in a school, and she can hear so many things, and she learned the Scottish language. But that doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese. So see here, already when she was 11, till 11 she was studied in school. So she was in Scotland, so she is speaking in good flawless Scottish lit. But after that impairment, after the disability came, the hearing impairment, she learned 2 more languages, that is our French and master basic Japanese also. How it is possible? Okay, this is the question given by our author. As for music, so this is the answer given by her. As for music, she explains, it pours through every part of my body. So the music that she used to pour inside her body, it tingles in the skin. Tingles means cause slight pricking and stinging sensation. So see here, it is not only in skin, my cheekbones and even my hair used to vibrate, and listens to the vibration and the sensation. With that, the whole body parts used to help her to listen to the music, and with that, how she played the music came to know. We came to know from this that the total body, with the help of the total body, she learned the music, and she started to listen, understand the vibration of the music. When she plays xylophone, she can sense the sound of passing up the stick into her fingertip. So when she playing the xylophone, the vibration of the sound that pass from the stick into her fingertips. So from the sticks, while they are beating on the xylophone, on the instrument xylophone with the stick, that stick that used to as a bridge, it used to transfer the vibration to her fingertip by leaning against the drum. This was happened while she was playing xylophone. Okay, then by leaning against these drums, she can feel the resonance. Resonance means echo of sound flowing into her body. So while she is playing the drums, she will be leaning against the drum, and she will feel the resonance means vibration flowing into her body on the body. When she is playing in the wooden platform, she used to remove her shoes so that the vibration passed through her bare feet. So from the bare feet, from the hair, from the skin, from the cheekbone, so that's what she's explained, that waist up and waist down. Waist up means upper part of the body. From that she can sense the higher tones of the music instrument. From the waist down, that is the lower part of the body, she can hear, she can vibrate, she can sense the lower tones of the instruments. So bare feet and up her legs. So from this she can easily understand she can able to understand the vibration, and she can able to master in the instrumentation. Then she has become a percussionist. Not surprisingly, Evelyn delights her audience. So in what way she is surprising her audience here? In 1991, she was presented with the Royal Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award. So Evelyn delights her audience. This was the award that she received for her for the solo performance, performance of the year, says master percussionist James Blades. Here the James Blades, he is giving the comment that God may have taken this sentences we have seen in the beginning of the lesson. This was said by James Blade to the Evelyn Glennie. God may have taken her hearing, but she has been given back with something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. Far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expressed music so beautifully. This was the statement, comment given by James Blades. He is telling that Evelyn's hearing ability, he gave her strong power of sensing sounds which enabled her to become a great musician. So it was a comment, appreciation given by the percussionist, master percussionist. He is not a percussionist. He was a master percussionist, R. James Blade, commenting on Evelyn Glennie. The next 9 point, Evelyn confesses that she is something of workaholic. So what is meant by workaholic? A person, here it was given, a person who finds difficult to stop working, keep on working. He is a workaholic. He used to work as a machine. Evelyn Glennie is a hard working and she doesn't stop working. And here I have just got a work often harder than classical musicians. What does this mean? Now to be at par with those people who can hear, who are classic musician, Evelyn works very harder than the classical music. So for classical music, they have to work hard. More than the classical musicians, she is a hard worker. That much hard work leads to the success in her life. So, but the rewards are enormous. Rewards means the appreciation from the masters, from the maestros. It was very fabulous and it was enormous. Apart from the regular concerts means the people who go with the orchestra and they play in one area and they'll make some live shows there, that is concerts. Evelyn also gives free concerts in prisons. Here we can see the charity work also given by Evelyn. She is such a kind and humble person. She is doing some charity work also. Here Evelyn also gives some free concerts in prison, hospitals, and she also give high priority to classes for young musicians. So that is the good quality of Evelyn. And Richlin of a Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children says, so they are appreciating her. She is a shining inspiration. So Anne Richlin, who is the person who is running the charity trust, she is appreciating. She is just telling her comment as she is Evelyn is a shining inspiration for all deaf children, and they see that they are nowhere that they cannot go. They see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. That means here they are telling that they feel that they can accomplish everything. They can fulfill all their dreams as a motivation given to the deaf children by Evelyn Glennie. It was a boost up for them. Definitely they'll try to succeed in his life on seeing Evelyn Glennie's life. It is a motivation to the deaf children. Coming to the last point, Evelyn Glennie has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. So Evelyn Glennie has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. What does it mean? Here, Evelyn Glennie has achieved. Accomplished mean achieved. Achieved so much in her life that those people who are doubled in her age. So she is a small child even in her age. In this age, as 11, as in her age, as a young teenager, she achieved so many things than the senior people, than the people who are twice in her age. She accomplished, she achieved in her life. Evelyn Glennie has achieved so much in her life that those people who are double in her age has also not achieved those many things. That much popularity and those many awards as Evelyn has done in her life. She has brought percussion to the front of the orchestra. She brought percussion to the front of the orchestra and demonstrated that it can be very moving. Demonstrated that it was very moving. What does it mean? Orchestra is a group of people who are playing different musical instruments, and gradually and generally the percussion instrument like the drums and xylophone are placed in the back end of the orchestra. So usually xylophone and drums will be kept in the back of the orchestra. So or they placed at the side, but Evelyn performs solo. Here they are just demonstrating. She is demonstrating that she is bringing the xylophone, the instrument, front to the orchestra. That is the xylophone and drums, and placed at the Evelyn, and but also Evelyn performs a solo performance. She is doing some solo extraordinary performance, and she is giving special performance with these percussion instruments. The percussion instruments have come in front of the orchestra. So after she was playing and after it was admired and appreciated by all, these instruments have been brought front to the orchestra, and she was appreciated by all, and she played a tremendous music with that percussions. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped. Evelyn is a story, is an inspiration to those people who are physically disabled. So this story, this lesson, our Evelyn Glennie's life is a moral and an inspiration to those people who are physically disabled. Don't disappoint yourself. Don't feel about your disability. Come forward with your talents, and they feel that if Evelyn Glennie can achieve her dreams, even they can. So they are thinking, the people and the children and the person who are indisable, don't think of your negatives and think of your positive. Even Evelyn can achieve in her life. Why can't you? This is the question asked to you, and not only for the disabled person, even to as a students, as a school learning students, as we also should think of this incident that God has created with all goodness, all health and physical fitness to us. But what we are doing, even though the handicapped people, they are achieving so many things in their life. So this lesson is a motivation not only to the handicaps, and it will be a motivation to the all human being in the world. And it was a wonderful story of Evelyn, and Evelyn has given a lot of pleasure to her audience by playing of such music. She was She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped, people who look to her and say, if she can do it, why I can't? Why I can't? And not the least, she has given enormous pleasure to millions by the beautiful music with her percussions. It was the story by Deborah Coley. It's all from the story, from the lesson of Evelyn Glennie. And from here we come to know that the theme of the story and the message we got from the story of Evelyn Glennie is a motivational story. It inspires all of us to overcome from our physical disabilities and achieve our dreams and goals just like Evelyn did. That's all from the text. Let's see the questions now. It was given in the book back. Try to find out the answer for the questions and post your answers in the group. I'll catch you in the next session with the part 2 of our The Sound of Music. The title is The Shanai of Bismillah Khan.